We are live, and thank you. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm gonna check one last time on my Facebook page here. Make sure I can hear myself as we continue this amazing summit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live, and thank you. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Yes. I'm gonna check one last time on my Facebook. We have audio, so we're we're going smoothly now. As soon as Dr. Rivers come on in, Doc, I'm gonna bring you up in 3 seconds, and you should be on, Dr.
I'm
Rivers.
here. Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect. We are flowing good. Welcome, Doc, and today it's an honor to be here with you and our group of 9 civility experts in our green room right here sitting with us that you're going to be interviewing one-on-one as our show continues. We're terribly sorry for the technical difficulties with audio previously. We've got audio now. Viewers, let us know that you're hearing us, where you're watching us from. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Dr. Rivers, can you tell me a little bit of civility and what it means to you, sir?
Yeah, what it is our movement, for lack of better words, is let's bring respect and kindness for humanity back to the world. I never would have imagined in my lifetime that we have to teach people how to be nice to each other again. And what is taking place in the world is Raymond, every institution in the world that has people has to deal with this issue. And this is why it's so important that all of our experts, our experts in the World Civility Presidents Club, are so necessary for the world now. Because at the end of the day, Raymond, is people working with people, 7.8 billion people that need to communicate. So civility is the new horse that's leading the way in the midst of all the tension, chaos, and hatred in the world. There's time for a new vehicle, and that vehicle is civility.
Wow. It's an honor to be working with you, sir, for over a year now. And you've taken me around the world and shown me civility in action, which is something you're a great teacher about. You said Raymond theory is one thing, but the action, seeing it on the ground, seeing how it actually applies in policy, seeing how it applies in our ever-changing world with politics and economics, civility is the only answer.
It's the only answer because you see, Raymond, what people fail to understand that the world works on systems. You have to interrupt systems with a new way of thinking. And this is why I love our experts here, because our experts are number one thinkers. Let me explain something, Ambassador Harlaw. Many people now are sitting beside the road because they were taught to be number two. Our experts are number ones. Number ones are going to create new economy. They will drive change, and their initiatives will impact the globe for the next time period.
Wow, that's amazing. That's why I love working with you, sir. And now let's go from far east. We've done this about 10 minutes ago, but there was no audio for our viewers. So we'll just go back over and talk about all of our featured expert on our show today and our co-author in a book that we're actually working on to get out very soon. And let's start with Maribel, and she's joining us from Singapore, which is a 12-hour difference in time. That's the farthest you can actually go away from someone. So let's hear about Singapore. What do you, Maribel? What do you think about her, sir?
She is a world changer. She's a global connector, but she's more than that. She's a paradigm establisher, and and we're honored to work with her because she will bring unity She will unite things around the globe and make a difference in the world. We are honored to have this expert on our team.
Wow. And we have Dr. Christopher. He's joining us from West Africa. That's in Nigeria. And they're 6 hours of a difference. So it's in the middle of the night for him. For Maribel, it's early in the morning. So this is truly international.
Christopher is a voice of change for the continent of Africa. His understanding of people, his understanding of business, and his understanding of how to move things forward. Christopher is truly a next generation world leader, and he's an expert in our civility narrative. I love that guy.
Wow. And all the way from Canada, North America, we have Ambassador Alka Sharma.
No words. Just one of the best people you'll ever meet. She's bootstrapped her way up. She's overcome so much. She's a leader in fitness, and she's also a leading voice in loving people, making people's life better. We are honored to work with Alka, one of the best you'll ever find in the world.
Another Canadian, we have Dr. Grace.
Grace is I think of all heart. This is a woman that would lay her life down to help one. You know, and what I love about her so much is one person is valuable to her. That if everybody can treat one person the way Grace treats everyone, the world's a much better place. So we're honored to have Grace with us.
Wow, that's incredible. We have Vinny.
This man, every institution in the world needs Vinny.
Mm.
Vinny understands structure, protocol, and leadership. And he understands leadership. He understands how to help people transition into leadership as it morphs. And this is why right now, Ambassador Halal, people are afraid of what's coming next. But if they had a man like Benny, our expert in leadership transition, come on, man. V high, Benny, V high is in the place.
We have Donald Tolson from Florida.
Donald is the real deal. The real deal. I can read, I can speak, I can write. This is a man that's empowering young kids around the world to make them think bigger. I'll tell you, to have a man like him on our team, he is truly one of a kind. One of the most pure hearts you'll ever meet in the world is the real deal Tolson.
And next up, we have Dr. Ira from the first state, Delaware.
That's because I was first. Because you see, that Ira's one of the humble people you'll meet in this world, but he's humble, but his words are powerful, and the people he's empowered with the transformation that you can visibly see in people that he helps. He gets the job done. He goes to work. That's D. Ira Roach. Come on, somebody.
Next up, we have Prince Michael.
All I can say, one of the brilliant minds of the next generation. I'll tell you, Prince Michael gives me hope for the future. I mean, when you talk to the man, he expands your mind. He just expands your mind, and he's a young person that needs a platform. And if you give him a platform, he'll build a stage. That's Prince Michael. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes,
Big Michael in the house today. Come on now.
We have the reset coach, Tracy Randolph. From
Tracy Randolph is a person whose life exemplifies what she does. Man, I'm telling you, every time I watch her on Facebook, she's consistent. She's winning every day, and she teaches people how to reset. She's phenomenal. Tracy Randolph, great to have you as an expert in our presidential club.
Amazing. And Doc, we're gonna start off. We have some powerful expert on, and we have to dig in a little bit into who they are, how they come about with their narrative, and what is their initiatives and how they go about doing that, working with you. And so the first up I want to bring in is Ambassador Alka Sharma. And
Alka, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Sir Clyde. It's an honor to be at this presidential summit.
Yeah. Raymond, I can't hear her.
oh wow. Okay, hi.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear her, Doc.
Okay. Go to Benny and have her come back in.
Okay. Alka, we'll bring Vinny on, and then we'll try to bring you on. Dr. Vinny, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can't hear Benny.
Okay. I can hear him, Doc. Can Dr. Rivers? Can you try going out and coming back in?
Yep. I'll be. Give me.
Sir.
Benny, can you hear me? Benny, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Benny, I can hear you now, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Benny Cochran is one of the voice, the expert. Benny, good to have you on in our first presidential club.
Thank you, sir. It is a pleasure and an honor to be invited into this amazing club.
Well, you have qualified because of your experience and what you have created. Matt, could you please tell the people what is your initiative? What is your initiative?
My initiative is civility through transition to leadership, simply meaning that everyone, regardless of where they are in their lives, they all go through a transition or one or two at some point in their life. And my goal and my hopes is to help as many people as I can navigate through those transitions, in a civil way, because we will never ever be able to achieve true civility in the world unless we can all start with ourselves.
Wow. Benny, why do you think, can you explain why this is needed in the world today?
Well, I think, Sir Clive Rivers, I think it's needed in the world today for a number of different reasons. But I think the main reason is, as if you look at some place like the United States, I'm sure it's happening all over the world right now with COVID-19, everything's in total disarray. Countries are changing and people are changing, and we have to get back to some sense of normalcy. But the only way I really think that we can do that is everyone has to take a look in the mirror and first analyze themselves. When they do that, they get a better picture of who they are as an individual and how they can contribute to what is going to make the world a better place in terms of civility around the world.
Wow. Benny, what experience in life qualifies you to be an expert in this niche?
Well, Sir Clive Rivers, I think I have a lot. Well, I'm not going to say I think. I know I have a lot of experience. I've been very fortunate to serve in the United States Marine Corps for 30 plus years. And in those 30 years, I've managed to achieve the highest rank on the enlisted side in the military. And in doing so, I've traveled all over the world, led people in and out of combat, seen a lot of different things. And one of the main things that the Marine Corps teaches us is teamwork. But what I've learned along my 30-year career is there will be no team that is successful again until you start to really look at the individuals that are part of that team. you can have all the successes you want in the world through team initiatives, but it takes one person to start the initiative, so that the success can be generated throughout the world.
Wow, wow, wow. Vinny, how does this initiative, how will this impact the next generation? Because you have to realize we have an actual young generation that's a different generation. So how does your initiative impact them, the next generation?
And I will tell you, Sir Clyde Rivers, my initiative was pretty much started for the next generation. And what I mean by that and how I think is going to impact them is I totally believe that we have to change the thinking of the next generation. I developed a program within my initiative called SWAG, which means succeeding with a goal. And the whole concept behind that is to get our younger individuals, our individuals which are 100% of the future of our countries and around the globe, is to get them to change their minds and go through what I call getting an MBA in life, which is mapping their mindsets, their beliefs, and their attitudes so that they can then accomplish everything that they want to do. And it all again starts with, your initiative, which is civility all around the world, and the golden rule, which is doing unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Vinny, as an expert, I'm going to ask you a difficult question. With everything that's going on right now in America, as an expert, how do we transition with swag?
Well, there's a number of different ways, Sir Dr. Rivers, but primarily, again, it's going to be being able to look in the mirror, identifying who we are as individuals, understanding what our strengths are, but more importantly, with swag, we're going to help you identify what your gift is, that gift from God that sometimes I believe individuals overlook. They start chasing things based off of where they are in their lives, the environment that they are in, and they forget about those dreams and goals they had as young children. And I believe those dreams they had as young children, when their minds were at their purest, is really what their gifts are. And unfortunately, all across the world, what I've noticed is the older we get, unfortunately, we tend to shift away from those goals and dreams we had as children because we let society, the environment that we are in, change our minds. Well, with our program and swag, succeeding with the goal, we take you back to those times where you were at your peers and help you re-identify with the goals you had and set you on course to get to where you want to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, you understand why this man right here is a civility expert. Benny, my pleasure to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to bringing swag all around the world. People, if you need swag, get a hold of us because Benny Cochran is the man, and we're humbled to have you in our President's Club. Thank you. You qualified. You're an expert, and we're honored to have you with us, Benny Cochran.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rivers and Dr. Harlau. Again, the honor and the privilege was all mine. I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, up next, we have Ambassador Alka Sharma with us, Dr. Rivers.
Alka Sharma is probably one of the most genuine, original world leaders. Alka, it's always great to work with you.
Thank you, Sir Clyde. It's quite an honor to, first of all, to be part of this amazing presidential summit. So I'm truly grateful and honored to be here tonight.
Thank you. And we're honored to have you as an expert. Could you please explain to the people what the Love You Fit campaign is that you've established?
Absolutely. So, my narrative for tonight is the Love Your Fitness campaign. And pretty much how it came about was based off my journey, my personal journey. I was faced with weight challenge and bullying. So, I decided to establish this campaign so that women around the world can really benefit and know about fitness and what it can truly do for you.
Wow, wow, wow. And Alka, as I've worked with you, your expertise, you are one, you are one of the best in the field I've ever seen. And to have the powerful thing about you is you have a heart to give the information back. Now, the one thing that I can tell you, the reason why you're number one expert is because you aren't afraid to give people knowledge. And I always honor that in you, and I respect that so much. Now, I want to ask you, why did you start this initiative? What was the gas to help the world?
Absolutely. For each and every one of us, there's always that fuel, there's always that drive. And for me, my driver to hone on this initiative, this narrative, my global narrative, was simply based on my personal journey of, I faced a weight challenge, I was, bullied in school, and that whole transition, that part of my life, I never wanted to go through that again. But most of all, I did not want other people and other women to be going through the same situations, struggling the same situations that I have struggled with. And so I came up with this initiative because I really wanted to empower. And for me, Sir Clyde, is all about empowerment. I'm huge on that. And empowering women around the world can truly make a difference. But you need to understand yourself. You need to see you as the beautiful, gorgeous, accomplished women that we are. And that to me, speaks volumes. So I decided, because as I transition and I change my life around, I wanted to help other women to really hone in to their accomplishments, to hone into what they are truly capable of doing.
Wow, wow, wow. See, and you know what? Let me tell you, I work with people all over the world. You were the first person that told me you are looking for the positivity after COVID.
Yes.
When you told me that, I was like, this woman is truly something different because looking for the positivity. Can you explain that mindset when other people are looking at fear, worry, and losing everything, and you have a positive approach towards the future?
Absolutely. I mean, I've always been the one to really be positive because, the client, let's face it, we cannot have COVID-19. It's here, but there's nothing that we can do about it. There's nothing that we can change. We can listen to the news all day long, but then how are we being productive? And to me, COVID-19 is here, but you know what? We need to change ourselves in the process. And as an entrepreneur, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we cannot live by chance. We cannot live day to day. We need to establish ourselves in the mindset. So when that change comes as entrepreneurs, we have to think outside the box. We have to be creative. We have to lift ourselves up in order to really change. And so for me, I'm really excited post COVID because I know already, I'm envisioning, I'm seeing for myself what really needs to happen. And not only my business, but in general, I'm looking forward to, bring it on, because there's just so much to be done that we cannot live in this COVID-19 situation.
Do you understand, people watching, why I told you Dr. Alka is one of the great leaders of the future? Man, Alka, how tell me the importance of love in your campaign. Tell me the importance of the element of love in your campaign.
Absolutely, Sir Clyde. So the Lovely Fitness campaign is love you. So, loving you is the foremost, is the foundation. You have to build the foundation. We have to build the foundation, loving ourselves. And that's why when to establish my narrative simply came about, about self-care, self-love. We have to love ourselves. And I am so huge, big on developing women, but it starts with the girls. It starts with a future generation. The
Mm.
girls are the teens. They are a future generation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to pour everything into them. So loving ourselves, loving our future generation, sort of really acknowledging their gifts and talents. Because unless we don't hone into their gifts and talents, we cannot live in this society that is truly created for brilliance. And you know what? So it's one step at a time that I really am very positive that this change needs to come about. So self-care, self-love, because then we can begin to love ourselves, the community, the world at large.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you see why this woman here is an expert world changer? Dr. Alka is all gas, no brakes. Alka, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time to be on to be a part of our presidential club. You make us better. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Sir Clyde. It's quite an honor to be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Raymond? Yeah.
And now we have Dr. Christopher, all the way from Nigeria, West Africa.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris rocks the house. Every time Chris steps to the plate, he's hitting a homer. Chris, good to see you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. I'm so grateful. It's about 2 a.m. in Nigeria, but we are so positive and we know what we want to do. We know what we are pursuing, and we are going full out for it. So thank you, Sarivas. Thank you, Dr. Raymond, for having me on this great global platform. This is one platform I had envisaged all through my life, and I can't just do this twice. This is an opportunity for me. This is great for me, and I'm going all out for it.
Chris, man, thank you so much. Chris, could you please explain to our global audience what your initiative is?
Okay, yeah, it's about Afripreneur Civility Connect. I live in Africa and I've seen the great potential of the continent Africa. Africa today is about 1.9 billion, and in 30 years from now, it's possibly going to be about half of the world population. We're going to be having about 10 billion. And are we prepared? Someone needs to take on the mantle to get Africa prepared for the global exploit that is about to happen to the continent of Africa. Africa is a wonderful place, but many of us choose not to see it. So someone needs to stand, someone needs to rise. We need to have the Moses of Africa who is going to lead Africa to its promised land. And that is what the presidential, the global, the I-Chain nation is trying to do. And that is what we are doing to see how African and Africans by itself can realize itself. Africans can take over its mantle and lead in its position. Yeah.
Man, Chris, what has given you the passion? Because every time I talk to you, there's
Yeah.
passion. There's something in you that's made you an expert at this. What actually drives you every day to make you wake up and do what you're doing?
I actually grew up from a very humble background, and God helped me, and I eventually set up a system that empowered a lot of Africa. Today, I see so many Africa who have very poor esteem. I see so many Africa who do not have the global concept of business. I see so many Africa, not just in Africa, it's every part of the world, but I'm just concerned about the Africa because we all have to choose our niche. I have chosen to be concerned about my continent. So I see this and it's pained me. It's more like a spiritual connection I have with my people. It's something I cannot explain. It's not a physical thing I can tell. This is the reason why. Every time I see this thing not going right, there's a push in me trying to tell me, do it. You can make it work. You can change the narrative. And we are pushing and we are seeing that in few years to come, many Africans will begin to see that Africans can actually compete in the global market and make the change that Africans desire in the world.
Wow, wow, wow. Chris, how does civility in your narrative make the difference?
Great. Civility is everything. You know, I've been an entrepreneur through my life, and one of the key thing that sustained me to this point has been business civility. Because there's no need to be in a rush when you can get what you want to get through a channel called civility. How you treat your fellow business person, how you treat your fellow man, because it comes naturally to you. And it's unfortunate that the greed in business, the pressure in business does not actually make people to see this work. So what we are doing is to teach and to push this to every look and cranny of every institution in Africa. We're working with all schools in Africa. We're working with all government. May I say this? We are even working with president to ensure that we start having special advisors to president on civility matters. This is the right time for us to make the world see, to make Africans see that civility is all that we need.
Chris, man, Chris, tell me, how does your initiative impact the future of Africa? Because Chris, in this area, you're an expert. So I'm asking for your expertise on how your work will impact Africa.
Great. You know, one of the biggest resources that we have overlooked in Africa is human resources. This initiative is geared towards building Africans in business and entrepreneurship through the concept of self-realization, because your self-realization is your greatest service to humanity through the concept of globalization. No generation has had this opportunity we have today, where the whole world is connected in one single village, through the concept of civility, through the concept of education and mentorship, because knowledge of trade brings self-motivation, through the concept of innovation. The only one way to discover the limit of possibility is to grow out of the box. Through the concept of digitalization, today the world is in a digital age. We are connecting via a digital tool. Africa needs to do it better through the concept of what I call Black resources uniqueness. I'm going to be talking so much about this. We've had Africans like Mensa Musa, who today nobody has recorded as much wealth as what he has. In, in 1280 to 1337, these are Africans that have done great in business. I believe as Africans, we can do it again. But someone needs to do this. Someone needs to teach. Someone needs to share this information, and that is what we are doing. I believe a whole lot of things are going to change with this platform I have, which I've always been of. A whole lot of things are going to change. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you seen him first. You seen him first in the 2020 World Civility Presidential Club. I introduced the expert, Chris, to the world. Chris, thank you so much, my dear friend. Thank you for staying up late. We love you. You're changing the world. Thank you, my dear friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. Thank you. It's an honor to have you on. You're a great legend. And now, Dr. Rivers, Sir Clive Rivers, we have Dr. Grace. Welcome, Dr. Grace.
Dr. Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Sir Rivers. How are
Wait a
you?
minute, I can't hear her.
Okay. Dr. Grace, can you jump out and come back in?
There you go. Raymond, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah, we're touching the globe here. Dr. Grace, I'll I'll remove you, but come right back in. Okay.
Raymond, these the individual experts that'll be in this book, they are global world changers, every one of them. What a phenomenal group for our first presidential club.
Yes. Yes.
Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Dr. Sir Rivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, bringing Dr. Grace to the stage. I'll tell you, when you talk with this woman, you just see the heart, the passion for what she's overcome in life, and she's not bitter, she's better. Grace, can you please tell us about your initiative?
Um, my initiative is World Civility Interruption Strategist, and that came about from my own story of being abused as a child. And when I became a doctor and I really got in touch with the fact that I was abused, I hadn't told anyone in my family or anything at that point, and I was trying to get help, and really, I wasn't getting the appropriate help I needed. And I started thinking, like, as a doctor, if I can't find the appropriate help, how are other girls doing this? And so, if I could stop the suffering of one girl, or shorten it, or make them not go through the dark night of the soul like I did, it was at that point where I said, God, if you help me, I swear I will help others if I can get out of this. And that's how that civility movement came about.
Wow, wow, well, and Grace, tell us tell us, some of the people you're helping now, groups of people that you're working with. What are you doing right now?
Right now, I came up about like for 7 years. I went through courses and all kinds of things. Like I became a hypnotherapist. I took all kinds of certifications in order to help myself. And I noticed that some things work and some things don't work. And so, about 15 years ago, I came up with the Dr. Grace Mirror Method, and that was taking all the things that actually helped me and putting it into a program where girls or men suffer a lot less from the abuses or traumas they've been subjected to. And so the people I work with are abused, raped women, addicted people who are alcoholics, even like just people who want to get rid of self-sabotage. And where does that come from? Because for me, I didn't realize that I have all these programs in the subconscious, like everybody else, running, that are making me do things that I don't even understand. And so that was what I studied, the subconscious mind, and how to help people release trauma, self sabotage, destructive patterns, things like that.
Grace, what kind, man, Grace, I love talking to you every time. Grace, what kind of results, as a person comes in,
Mhm.
you are truly able to walk them to freedom?
Yes, and for me, that was a very hard process. So basically, what you have to do is be really honest with what's going on with you and your own trauma. For example,
Mm.
for me, I didn't even tell anyone I was abused. To me, it was like some scarlet letter that I don't even want to admit to. And the thing is, like, I come from a very loving, caring family, and this happened with someone outside of the family. And so it was very hard for me to reconcile within myself that this happened to me, being a strong woman, and basically thinking that this happens to weak women, which is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And so accepting the fact that, you know, this is my story. There's bad parts to it, there's good parts to it, but it's a story. And I had to eventually take the poison of the abuser that I was drinking and decide I'm not going to be a victim. I'm actually going to stop this,
Wow.
and I have the choice to do that. And as a result, as what came out of all this suffering is that I became a woman who has more empathy for people. I actually love and appreciate the amazing people in my life, my friends. And so you come out really empowered, and you come out really understanding and appreciative of the things you really have in life.
Grace, you are. How does this initiative impact the actual future of the world? How do you see the work you're doing now? How do you see it impacting future generations?
Well, I think that the leaders of each generation are morally obligated to have every citizen like thrive. Okay, and when children are broken down at a certain age, like for me, it happened at 4.5. Basically, you start developing things like broken relationships, insecurities, abandonment issues, victim kind of mindset, poverty mindset. Fighting with your own self in the sense
Mm.
that your self confidence, your like, and all these things. And I think that if we do not correct this in children when they're young, they will have hardship as adults. And as I've said before, broken people make broken nations.
Wow, 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 wow. Grace, what is give me how did you build your number one mindset? Listen to me. Coming out of what you walked out of, you are a number one thinker. Now, just candidly, many people that have gone through what you've gone through, they don't ever recover. What was the one thing you did that empowered your mindset to make a difference?
I think speaking to others really helped me because I was convinced that I'm the only broken one. And I've encountered a lot of women, even women who have psychology PhDs, who say once you're broken, you're always broken. And that's ridiculous. Like, you have the choice to pick your life, and you can, like I said, drink the poison of the abuser or let yourself free. And many times that abuser is abused themselves. And so when I had to sit and actually forgive my abuser, is when I really looked at who he was, what had happened to him. He was in a mental institution most of his life. And so I thought, how could I be really upset with this man? You know, like, he basically did the best he could. And I just happened to be in his way for like, and I got like, it actually made me stronger. And if you talked to me about 10 years ago, I would have thought that it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But as I forgave and as I understood, I realized that he gave me an armor in life that no one can take away from me.
Wow.
And on top of that, he gave me the ability to love and understand people with empathy and kindness to a deeper level. And that was a gift.
God, great, Grace. Come on, man. Grace said, don't drink the poison. Wait, Grace, you are one of the special people of this world. I
Thank
mean that.
Thank
And we're truly honored to have you in the 2020 World Civility Presidential Club. We are a better club because of you. Grace, thank you for being
you
so honest and candid in your sharing. We love you so much. Thank you.
so much. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Grace.
Thank you, Dr. Great.
Wow.
Next
Wow.
up, next up, Sir Clyde Rivers. We have no other than Tracy Randolph, the reset coach from New Jersey.
Man.
Good
Tracy, can you
evening.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Raymond,
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think you have to move it out, Raymond. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Tracy, I'll have you just jump out and come right back in. Sorry.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's okay. We're good. Raymond.
We're having some phenomenal comments
Phenomenal.
on Facebook. I'll just spotlight some of the people here now as Tracy come back in. We have
Williams, I see you. Antoinette Williams, the great lady. Yes.
Let us know. Let us know where you're watching from, audience, so we can shout you out.
Raymond, I'm excited. This group of presidential club leaders will impact the globe. Tracy Randolph, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Tracy, I can hear you now. Tracy, I
Awesome.
always hear you. Because even when you're silent, you're speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have in our 2020 President Club, we have Tracy Randolph. Tracy, man, tell me about your initiative. You're and by the way, you're an amazing person. Your consistency every day, you actually model something for people, and I want you to know that we're all watching.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I first want to say I'm humbled and I'm honored, Sir Dr. Rivers, really am. So thank you for that. But my initiative is the Whole Living Civility Initiative. And that initiative is based on really bringing a healthy force. And I like to use the word force around the globe. And the reason being is we really, especially in this time, we really need to focus on full mind, body, and spirit wellness, especially at a time like this during this current pandemic. So we need to focus on being preventative, protective, and proactive about our health. Normally, people are reactive. So, this whole living model teaches people how to focus on full mind, body, and spirit and implement those three things. And there's 7 keys to this model.
Talk to me. Come on. Give us 3 so
Sure.
they have to buy the book.
Sure. So, the first 3 keys are, of course, most people would think about them, right? Nutrition, exercise, and sleep. Those are the first 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sleep. See. Can you tell me what has put a passion in you for this?
Sure.
Because I watch your passion every day. You're passionate about what you do.
Mhm.
What's given you a passion about this? Your narrative. What put the gas in you for that?
Sure. So that gas was driven out of my own story. Actually, I'm a breast cancer survivor and had to figure out how to protect my body and how to be proactive in my own health. And it really drew me to my purpose. So I always tell people it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it drew me to this healthy lifestyle. And I just loved it. And I want to share it with other people.
Man. Tracy, how does your initiative
Mhm.
impact the next generation?
Oh,
If your initiative is if people grab the concepts of it, what does this do to help make the world a better place?
well, when you think about it, that saying, right, that you always hear people say, our health is our greatest wealth,
Mm-hmm.
is really true, Dr. Rivers. So I want to change the perspective first for the next generation so that they can understand how to live healthier lifestyles, sustainable, healthier lifestyles that's going to allow them to flourish and thrive. And once they build those sustainable lifestyles, they are a healthy force, and then they can change the trajectory in their lives, in their families, and in their communities.
Man, Tracy, what's the key? Okay, let me tell you this here. I see people that start diets, trends every day, and it
Mhm.
lasts about 3 days.
Mhm.
What is the key to bringing transformation in these areas?
First, it's about changing the mindset. It's
Mm.
about changing your mindset. Because once you change your mindset, then there's no stopping you. There's nothing that you can't do. And that includes learning how to eat better, exercising, getting the right amount of sleep, how you expend your energy. Once you change your mindset, anything is possible.
So you mean to tell me that people are stuck because of their mentalities?
Absolutely. When you think about what's happening today, people are even stuck. Some people are stuck in this pandemic and they're thinking that this is the end. Dr. Rivers, this is the beginning.
Woo!
This is the beginning because this is what's showing us that we need to protect our health so that we can thrive even further once the world opens back up again.
Man, this is off the chart. Tracy just brings stuff out that ain't even on the chart. Tell me about how does vision play an important role in what you want to accomplish with this initiative?
You have to visualize where you want to be. I was listening to your live actually earlier, and you were saying something key like speak what you seek. It's the same thing with vision. You have to visualize that person that you want to be. You have to visualize, that healthy person that you want to see, and then what that person can do going forward. So if you can visualize that, if you have the vision to say, I want to build my community and I want to build a healthy force within my community, if you see it, you will achieve it as well. And that's
Man,
see it in your mind's eye first, Dr. Rivers.
your mind's eye. And if you don't mind, can you explain that how to see it with your mind's eye? Because look. you as an expert are going to carry this all around the world. And I travel the world, and I know the issue is the mind of people. It's the mind. So how do you see with the mind of your eye?
Mm. So you first have to take that visualization and you draw a picture. You draw a map of what that looks like. You know, you take that healthy person and you visualize them and you draw them out and bring that mind's eye alive. And once you do that, then you can be anything that you want. You can live that healthy lifestyle. You can make those sustainable lifestyle changes because you are being that person that you want to be and that you want to see.
My goodness, Tracy. There's something about you. You just elude hope.
Oh, thank you.
You hope. I mean hope. You. What actual role did hope play in you overcoming cancer?
Mm, that's so key, Dr. Rivers. That was one of the biggest parts of it. I mean, I am a faith-based person, so I just said, you know what? I'm giving this cancer to God, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to take action. I'm going to exercise my wisdom, and I'm going to move forward and exercise that hope. And that hope is what drew me to this purpose today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Tracy is one of the leading voices in this narrative. And you know what? This narrative is needed all over the world. Tracy, how will your initiative impact the next generation?
Sorry, Doc. I must have hit a wrong button in the back here, and Tracy's gone. I'm gonna bring Prince Michael up, and we'll see if we can get that last question into her as she comes back. Prince Michael, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear Prince.
Okay, Prince Michael, come right back in. I'll hit that button. Come right back in, Prince Michael. Doc, how you liking the show so
Man, this
far?
is phenomenal. We have some of the best people working with us to help change the world. It's phenomenal.
Amazing.
Lori Crosby, good to have you in.
Oh my goodness. I'm blown away with the amount of content we're getting here.
Yes, yeah. Prince Michael, we got you. How are
Awesome.
you?
I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prince Michael gives me hope for the future. One of the brilliant minds of this world. Prince Michael, would you please let the global audience know what your initiative is?
Yes, my initiative is civility through creating social economic systems.
Did you hear this? People, I want to tell you something. Poverty has been the cause of nations' demise.
Yes.
Prince Michael, how will your initiative impact poverty around the globe?
Okay, so in order to answer that, we have to just go back a few steps. So when you think about our youth, because I have a program called Youth of Probability, we often say that our youth is our future. However, we never do anything to push that initiative for them. We never do anything to allow them to be able to drive their own vehicle. So, what building social economic systems is going to do for around the world, especially with our youth, is it's going to allow them to be able to take control of their own lives and create systems, businesses, which ultimately creates jobs. And creating jobs actually boosts the economics of that country. So imagine doing that all around the world in every country.
Prince Michael, how did you do that for yourself? How did you do that because I'm telling you, you have done stuff. And see, I want to hear, ladies and gentlemen, hear this. He's not talking theory. He's talking what he's lived. Prince Michael, how did you do that for your own self?
So I come from a very strong background, as I like to say. My mother was a single parent, and she did everything that she knew how. She did the very best that she knew. However, the environment that I grew up in is not the environment that I would say was conducive for growth. Uh, just based on the fact of the zip codes that we lived in, the schools that I had to attend, and many times what we realize is that when we put a person of youth, anyone that is between the ages of 0 to 18 in any type of environment, they will basically soak up whatever environment you place them in. So what I ended up doing was I said, okay, in order for me to be able to get out of here, in order for me to be able to make it to where I need to go, I need to first change my mindset in order for me to get out of here. Then I also need to control my voice in order for me to get there. And then I can live my wildest dreams if I decide to do that. And that is exactly what I did.
Michael, tell me this. I love talking to you. How did you get the number one mindset? Because look, when I met you in Atlanta and you picked me up from the airport, you have a number one mindset. Now one of the hard things that I have to do is find number one thinkers, because it's like, Michael, people are mentored to be number two.
Mhm.
How did you get the number one mindset?
So we already have a Les Brown. We already have a Tony Robbins. There's already an Oprah Winfrey, but there isn't a Prince Michael. So if I try and give you a version of any of those people, then I would fail miserably. But I can give you a darn good version of Prince Michael. And that's just simply because one thing that I've realized is that originality is something that will take you far longer, far greater than you could ever think of. But most times we decide to emulate someone else and not make it our own. And by emulating someone else, that's absolutely fine. I emulate Les Brown all the time because I absolutely love him. I even emulate you. However, what you have to do is take what you see and create your own. Because if you create your own lane, anyone and everyone is always going to look for the number one. If I bring you a pair of
Mm.
Nikes that are and that are an off-brand, or what we call in Miami a Bobo version of Nike, you're not going to like that. You're going to say, no, bring me the Nikes. So instead of bringing someone an unauthentic version of who I am, I decided to live my life and live it in such a way to the point where I am always going to be recognized as number one.
Wow, wow, wow. Are you telling me your initiative builds number ones?
Yes, it does. Yes, it
It,
does.
it builds number one. So you believe there's economy inside people.
I do. So, one thing that I've realized is that our greatest asset is us. And many times, what we look for is we look for other individuals to motivate us. We look for other individuals to inspire us. However, your greatest inspiration is when you open your eyes and look into the mirror, because no one else can inspire you for a lifetime. No one else can motivate you for a lifetime. The only person that can actually get you to where you need to go is you. So the moment that you go ahead and you open your eyes and you realize that you are your greatest asset, then you will definitely go ahead and become the number one that is your abundance and your birthright.
Press Michael, let me ask you one more question, man. I could interview you for 7 hours. Let me tell you this here. With what's going on right now in America with our young people, what do you think is a solution with our young people and the like social change taking place right now? What are your views?
So, one thing that I've realized is that in America, there's something that we tell our kids. We tell our youth one specific thing, and I'm pretty sure you've probably heard of it. It's you can be whatever it is that you want to be. You can become anyone that you want to become. However, it's basically an empty promise. We don't tell anyone how to get there. And if we tell them, we'll say, hey, go read this book. We don't show them. Imagine walking onto a car lot and I say, you can have any of these vehicles that you want. You can have a Rolls Royce, you can have a Bentley, you can have any of the vehicles. However, I don't have any of the keys, so you're not going to be able to drive. That is exactly what we do when we tell our youth that they can become anyone that they want. However, we are not willing to walk with them to get to where they need to go, to show them where they need to go. We often say you can become that, but how are they going to become that if we do not show them and walk with them? So I believe that if we were to create that system here, which is what I've done, and expand that system and get that mindset into our youth here, imagine a world 20 years from now. Because in a great book that I read a very long time ago, and I read it quite often, it says that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand why the World Civility 2020 Presidential Club is one of the best in the world? Prince Michael, you're phenomenal. And you know what? Keep on leading the way. It's our time to put you on stage. It's not our time to contend for you with the microphone.
Thank
You
you.
lead the way. We support you all the way. Thank you for being an example. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm ready to change the world. Thank you, Dr. Rivers.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, listen, Prince Michael, man, follow him. You change the world. Raymond Harlaw. Is that Donald Tolson? Donald, can you hear me? Raymond, I can't hear Donald. Okay, I think you're gonna have to go out. Yeah, I think they're gonna put you out. Prince Michael, thank you so much, man. Yeah,
Thank you, Doc.
we got work to do. We'll be talking to you. We have to get you on more stages. Uh, your voice needs to be heard.
Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Donald. I still can't hear you. Go out and come back in. It's great. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Let me go out. Donald, can you hear me? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Let me go out. Donald Tolson. Donald, can you hear me now? But I can't hear you. See if you're on mute. Dr. Raymond, I think he's on mute. Yeah. We'll let Dr. Raymond Harlaw work with this. Yeah. But Don, I'm looking forward to talking to you, man. Oh, man, you're doing a great work with your empowering the young people. Man, I'm gonna go out again, see if I can come back in.
Yes, sir. Having a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Dr. Rivers will be right on. Donald, Donald, can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? I can't hear you. I'm gonna bring on. Oh, Dr. Rivers is back in. Doc, can you hear me? Hmm.
I think we lost you for a second, but I'm sure you're just readjusting and moving. And then there we go. We'll come back to you when you go live again. But it is those things that keep us going. It is, and it's there's that also the action. Right? We used to talk a lot about mindset when they launched the movie The Secret. I was around all everybody who was part of that.
Doc, I can't hear you.
Roller courses at that time. And the one thing when you go back and ask them all, yeah, they got the like that. So amazing that they
Dr. Rivers, can you hear me? Yeah, your audio. Can't quite tell what's happening with your audio. Let's try one more time, Doc. I'm gonna bring in Maribel in the meantime, and let's try one more time, bringing you back in. Hi, Maribel. How are you, my dear?
Very good. Very happy to see you, my friend. And
Good to
Dr.
have
Clive,
you
I'm
all the way
honored to be here.
from Singapore. Good to have you from Singapore. And Dr. Rivers is back.
Sunny Singapore.
Can you share your initiative with us? What is
Yeah,
your
sure. So the name of my initiative is Model Your Nations, and it was basically established to interconnect the world one nation at a time. So using a framework that I created, which I also named the ABCD method.
Okay, I'm here.
ABCD method.
Hey,
Marbell, how are you doing?
Very happy to see the both of you. I'm very inspired to hear from all these amazing leaders that are changing the world.
we are. I am so honored to have you in. My goodness, you are amazing, and you're doing amazing things.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I'm really honored to be here.
Good. Can you share with us what is your initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was sharing a bit with Raymond that the name of my initiative is Model Your Nations, and it was actually established to interconnect the world one nation at a time. So this is really interesting and interconnected to the idea of civility, because in order to be able to treat people with courtesy, we need to start from a level of understanding. And understanding comes from, like knowing their culture, knowing their tradition, and then respecting all of that. So I really believe that we need to talk to people the way they want, the way we want people to talk to us. We want to earn respect.
Yes. Yes. What has given you the passion for this? Because there's you always have an energy about it. So what's given you the passion to watch nations work together?
Well, it really started from finding out that, I've lived in more than 6 different countries and 5 different continents. And whenever I am overseas, people have come to me with all different interesting questions. Like, for example, whether I speak Mexican, or telling me I don't look Mexican enough. There was even an incident where a place where I worked got robbed when I was living in Australia. And then when the police came and I was attending to the guests, making sure everybody was okay, they asked me where I was from when they were interrogating me. And they said, when I said Mexico, they replied, "Oh, that's why you're keeping your cool, because you're used to crime." And to be honest, I was very shocked because it was the first time I ever encountered something like that in my life. But it's all these prejudice that people have about countries, not only Mexico, that creates this gap between really connecting with somebody from a place of understanding. So when I saw that and then I moved into Singapore, I realized that there was a lot of opportunities to be created. So people from Mexico wanted to be able to come and connect with Asia, and then they wanted to know how. So we started creating a system that could assist not only businesses, but that's why I created the framework of ABCD to help the activities within a country, the culture to be put through in the right manner, the businesses, of course, because business people want to be very efficient and want to, if they're thinking of coming to Asia, for example, they want to come and make the best use of their time, being sitting with the right people, being presented with the right framework to establish their office, and they given the right opportunities. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, this is something that's not only relevant to Mexico or Singapore or Latin America and Asia, but actually it's relevant for every nation. And when we're able to showcase the best of every nation, then I really think that we can make the world a better place.
Wow, wow. And now where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Mexico, in a city called Puebla. And I was living there for most of my life until I was 18 years old.
Well, and what has put the energy, and there's a like synergy that you have when you speak, when you talk, it's a synergy that brings everything together. What has given you the passion? You grew up in Mexico, you're in Singapore, and yet you're a major person of influence in Singapore. How did that happen?
I love to bring people together. So I consider myself to be a connector. And somehow I am thankful that people also see me that way. So I'm always receiving inquiries from all sorts of different opportunities. And I always think, why not? If there's anybody that I can help within my reach, then why not doing it? And of course, once you create a system, a database, a network that can help people get what they want by understanding the different nations and just looking at the cultures and what they have to bring to their lives, to their business, to like growing their mindset, then the world can become a better place. And now more than ever, it's a reset, right? Now more than ever, there's no borders. Everything is connected. We're simply doing it, right? That you're based on the other side of the world. I'm here in Asia, and we're talking.
Now, Barbara, how do you see your initiative impacting the future of the world?
So there's different ways in which I see it happen. To begin with, I think that data is a new commodity. So when we provide a platform and when we provide a database that, is not only going to be digital, but we also aim to make different editions of books showcasing nations, then hopefully when young people want to actually work with a certain nation, they will already have a foundation of how to go about it. And of course, they can come to us to search for that assistance. But not only that, I really believe that it starts from the mindset. So the whole aim is actually to be able to go to the education sector and then be able to work with schools on the mindset, training them on the different aspects of culture. Like it's really creating a culture that starts from young so that people can really know more about the world. And like hopefully like that together we can create a world where everything is found with kindness and then cultural understanding and of course not only because of the internet but also because of the minds. Nowadays everything is on the media, right? We know what we know because of the media. So what if we train the future generation to look at the facts in a different way, to look at the facts from what they really are, not only from the media, but actually assess things and understand things, taking a step back on how to look into every single thing.
Wow, wow, wow. Maribel, how did you have a number one mind? Your mind doesn't think like a copy. How how did you build that number one thinking? And what it is, this is what I was studying something this week, and I was studying the different philosophers in the world. And there are not a lot of people that think like to create philosophies. Because really, if you think about it, think about Aristotle. Think about those guys have been dead for years, but their philosophies still live on because they had a number one mindset. How did you acquire your number one mind?
I really believe that we must be original. I really agree what was said just earlier. I think that there's only one us, and that is really our superpower. So when we're able to identify a missing element, we can really live within ourselves, and then really understand that, you know, to make something be born, such as an initiative, it starts from ourselves. How are we gonna lead it? How are we gonna inspire it? What are we gonna do? And it's really that consistency, because you don't really need to know how. You really need to understand what you want to achieve, and then be able to visualize it for it to manifest, right? When you have an idea of what you want to achieve, the how will come, and the how will show on its own.
Marvel, that's powerful because that's not the education you get in some schools. Now I'm going to ask you a question that's kind of off the board. The education systems of the world, in my opinion, some of them are creating people to work within a system, but it's not creating entrepreneur minds. It's not creating thinkers. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely agree. You know, you go to school and you learn a bunch of subjects that you might use or not. Of course, there's the basics that's important for all of us to know. But at the end of the day, there are some core things that people really need to know in order to be able to move forward in life. Like, for example, you need to understand yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to know your purpose, right? You always work from outside, and then you wonder how to find your purpose. But actually, you need to really look from within, because, you know, we have it all in. So when we're actually able to take a step back and then, you know, meditate or find ways in which we can connect with our inner self, you know, as it is in, is out. So you create it.
My goodness. Marbell, you are a number one thinker, and we are so privileged to have you in our Presidential Club 2020. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate all of you as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I am honored to work with all of you and the leaders within this platform.
Thank you. Dr.
Thank
Hala.
thank you for being on, Maribel. And the reason why we're having our show this late is to make sure that we can match her time in a 12-hour time zone. It's an honor to have you, and it's good to have
Yes, it
uh,
is.
be working in collaborative teams
Wow.
across the globe,
Wow.
and
Wow.
we're serving at the highest level.
Wow. Keep on being a hero. You're great, Marbell.
Thank you so much. I believe collaboration is power, so let's keep it up all together.
Yes.
Thank you,
You.
Maribel. Now I want to bring in Dr. Ira Roach, and let's have him on, Maribel.
Yeah.
Thank you, and continue watching us from the green room.
There we go. Want me to go out? Yeah, there we go.
Dr. Roach, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Dr. Riven, do you hear him?
No, want me to go out and come back in?
No, we'll have Dr. Ira go in and out and come back in, Dr. Ira. We can have a bit of a chit chat on how it's going, Doc.
Man, what I'm telling you, there's no words. phenomenal leaders, experts in new narratives. This is what the world's asking for, Ambassador Raymond.
Number ones.
Number ones. Ira Roach.
Good evening.
No, Ira, it's a great evening because I see you.
Thank you, sir. So happy to be here tonight.
Good, ladies and gentlemen, this man, he produces fruit in people's lives like I've never seen before. Dr. Roach, would you please share with the world what your initiative is?
I've actually heard like maybe 5 people say basically what my initiative is geared towards. It's called Focus Forward Civility. And I've heard people, 80% of the United States of America, people say they're stuck. The number one sustainable development goal in the world is poverty. Dr. Miles Monroe said poverty is not so much about money, but it's about a mindset and it's unproductivity. So I want to help people be productive and not live in regrets by looking at their past or being distracted by looking forward.
Wow. You mentioned something. How do you help somebody look forward? How do you help somebody look forward with vision?
You alleviate some of the failures that or the traumatic experiences that brought them to being hopeless. I'd like to look at it in this fashion that some people don't even know that they're number ones. Um, I want
Come
to say
on.
that David, the little shepherd boy David, he was number 8, and so I know a lot of number 8s that just were number ones, but they just didn't know. So I have a lot of Davids that uh, never were told they were number ones and always exhibited the number one. So I'm trying to teach people how to kill giants globally. We're gonna cut down these giants.
Ladies hey, Louisa Kaiser, we see you. Tiki Davis, thanks for being on. Now, Ira, your initiative.
hmm
How will your initiative impact the world?
From doing research, even though we have different cultures, there's one common ground. I read a book one time, As a Man Thinketh. I think it starts with the mindset. It doesn't matter which country you're in,
Wow.
who has been your ruler, what your economy looks like. I believe that if we change our perception, we can shift our mindset, and that can help us focus forward with civility.
So are you telling me that you basically are unwrapping people? You unwrap them down to the core.
I get rid of Aunt Josie and Uncle Blue and Aunt Susie at the November Thanksgiving table, telling you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't fly across the world, you can't impact a young boy in Pakistan. I unravel that mindset and let them know they're number one. So we can do anything we want to do. Just like Prince Michael said, we're number one. We're originals.
Wow, Mr. Eric Swinson, good to have you in, my friend. Hey, let me tell you, Ira, uh, uh, you to walk in your number one mind. What was one of the biggest hurdles you had to overcome mentally to take that number one place?
Individuals. Um, I'd like to say being validated by people who I thought were number ones that said I was a number two. That was the hardest hurdle to jump. And I had to realize if they never tell me I'm a number one, I'm still a number one. Not because of them telling me, but because I know what God placed in me. And I had to be around people and individuals that had that mindset versus those people who wanted minions instead of building leaders.
Wow. Ira, I'm going to go off the grid with this question. Do do you think leaders hold the platform for too long because they don't know how to transition?
I'm going to get in trouble for this. I think I said this before. Um, there's a lot of Sauls that are jealous of the Davids that are coming up. And I believe that some of the Sauls they don't know when it's time to move or just collaborate and teach that and train that David how to reach and impact a bigger sphere of influence versus it's all on him. So yes, some leaders don't know when to pass the baton and teach the younger how to reach a bigger impact and be a planet shaker, not just the world, but a planet shaker.
God, Ira, stop bringing the gasoline and the bomb tonight. My
Thank you.
goodness, this guy, man. So, what does okay? What does what do the leaders that don't pass the baton? What do they do? How do they damage people under them?
Old systems, old belief systems, um, being um, not outside the box, not being creative or innovative. That's what destroys them. Dr. Miles Monroe said, in a time of a crisis, creativity and innovation are birth, which attracts resources. And so, if they're not creative or innovative, they're going to destroy the next generation that is set here to
Jesus,
help us reach this world.
That's really good.
man. Raymond and Ira. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you who the leader is. You always know who the leader is. This is just a quick teaching. A leader is not the one that has 100 people following.
Wow.
A leader is the one that has the information that people are calling to follow.
Wow.
Let me tell you, Socrates and Aristotle have been dead for years. Their information still leads the way.
Wow.
So what I'm pushing and what I love about our experts, Dr. Raymond, in the President's Club, these are people. See, Ira, what I want to do with all of our experts, I want to establish the philosophy
Mm-hmm.
behind it so that you become a modern day philosopher, so
Wow.
that your philosophies live.
Wow.
And one more question for you, Ira, and thank you so much for just being transparent. How does your initiative build the future?
What it's called? It's simply the basis of what it's called. Focusing forward. I remember we talked one day, and you said something, and I eat up everything you say. You said we got to have foresight. We can't be nearsighted. We can't be farsighted, but we have to have foresight. And from my understanding, foresight is not necessarily knowing what it is, but seeing what it is. And so I want to teach people how to see and focus forward with foresight that we can collaborate. We have to partner. We have to be involved and not just our local country, but all over the world. The world needs us. Like you said, we have the solution. We're number ones. And I'm looking forward to changing the world along with you, Dr. Rivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ira Roach. Hey, Ira Roach can have my stage any day. He
Thank you,
can have
sir.
that, man. Ira, thank you so much for being who you are. You're phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
True servant
Look
leadership.
at my
Thank
I'm
you.
impressed
goodness.
with the work you've done,
Goodness, my
Thank you.
Dr.
goodness.
Ira. And now we have Donald Tolson. Come on up, sir.
Donald Toaster, can you hear me? Donald, can you hear me? Let me out, Raymond. I'll go out and come back in.
Okay, Doc.
Okay.
Donald, just go back and come back in one more time. Donald, I think Donald's having an issue on his side, Doc.
Let's see. Doctor, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dr. Rivers. I'm waiting on Donald to come back in. I think it might be his headset.
Uh,
Donald, we'll try again. And
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I got you.
There we
Donald,
go.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Woo! I can hear you. I can hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man right here, this is the
Oh,
real deal. Donald is the real deal. Donald, man, can you tell the world about your initiative?
yes, I can. Yes, I can. It is called Whole Communication Civility. whole communication civility. Now, this narrative, it was created for our young people in order to help them to establish their threefold core mentality. Their threefold core mentality, which is having the ability to speak, having the ability to write, and having the ability to lead. Now, once these qualities are learned and embraced, then what it does, Dr. Rivers, is that it positions them to create solutions for our world.
Wow, wow, wow. Donald, what inspired you to even do something like this?
Well, Dr. Rivers, when I was growing up, I had a speech impediment problem. So what happened is that on this certain day, our my third grade teacher, she was she gave us the task to give this presentation, and we had to stand in front of the room and give a presentation, and I was terrified. Now, I recall during the break, I went to her and I told her I can't do this. And at that point, she became a voice activated system because she began to speak life in me. Now, one of the things that she says that you are young, yes, but she said our young people, they came here to deliver something that we are supposed to have. So when she told me that, and I began to understand the concept that I had something inside of me that you and everyone on this call, on this live chat, needed to hear. So once I grasped that concept, then I knew that I had to share it with the world.
And what made you think about the next generation? Because Donald, in the work I do, most people forget about the kids because they can't pay them. But see, you have a heart that went after them. Explain why were the youth your target group?
Yes. So, Dr. Rivers, so what if I told you that inside of every young person that there's a hidden gift that has been strategically placed there in order to solve the problems of our world? And now I'm talking about a gift. If it is nurtured, then it can create solutions for mankind. A gift that, if it is cultivated, then it can mend and heal our world. So when I began to think of all the problems and the things that was going on around us, I said, what can I do as a human, as part of mankind? What can I do in order to help our world? So I started thinking about our youth, because our youth are 100% of our future. They are 100% of our future. So I said that, okay, I started studying the Bible, and we talk about the threefold cord. So when we associate that with having the ability to speak, to write, and to lead, then when we begin to embrace those qualities, then what it does is that it builds future leaders. Um, they're going to have to be able to speak before kings and queens and presidents and congressmen and the Senate and presidents. And they're going to know how, they're going to have the ability to write. The Bible says it says to write it down plainly so that everyone can see it. So they would need to be able to write their narrative down in order to share it with the world. So I created a program called I Can Speak, Write, and Lead Youth Training Program. And that's the narrative that I'm using along with wholeness and civility. And it is changing the world.
Man, let me ask you something. Man, Donald, I call you the real deal, man. How did you get your number one mindset? Because when you speak, and I've heard you speak on several platforms, you can step on a stage and you have the ability to have everybody in there listening intently. And you know what? You are not going to scream. You are not going to be emotional. You're comfortable in your own skin. Can you explain that?
Yes, sir, I can. First of all, Dr. Rivers, you have to have a passion for what you're doing, and that's that gift that God has placed down inside of me. Now, The fact that I was born is evidence that there is something that need to be finished. So when God began to give me that vision and that voice, and basically put that inside of me, saying, "Hey, I gave you a gift, and that gift needs to be nurtured. And I want you to go out, and I want you to be able to change lives, to change the world, be able to go out and to serve, because I believe that one of my giftings is also to serve." And I heard this great story, and if I have time, I will tell it. But it was with Dr. Booker T. Washington, when he went into this neighborhood, and this lady, she wanted him to chop wood and to do all these things, and apparently she didn't know who he was. So he did what she asked, and there was a maid that was in the house, and she brought it to the owner's attention that, "Do you know who that is? That is Dr. Booker T. Washington." So after that, when Booker T. Washington left, she asked the maid, "Can you go get him and bring him back in?" So she went and she brought Dr. Booker T. Washington back in. And because Dr. Booker T. Washington was a servant to this stranger, she ended up contributing several millions of dollars to his program of creating an institution of higher learning for people of all color. So when we begin to serve others, and when we begin to serve our gifts to others, then the whole world will profit from it.
Wow, 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 wow. One last question for you.
Yes, sir.
How do you see your initiative impacting the future of the world?
Dr. Rivers, I so strongly believe in I Can Speak Right and Lead Youth Training Program until I believe that it's going to end up being a average household name, because every child needs to know how to speak. They need to know how to write, and they need to know how to lead. Now, what's happening here is that we're creating their future. They are going to be kings and ambassadors and diplomats. They're going to travel the world. And what has to happen is that we need to begin to foster that at a young age. We need to be able to capture them in a moment in time when their mind are very fruitful, and teach them these tools to speak, to write, and to lead, in order to change the world. But not only change the world, they're going to be changing their future, and they're going to be changing the narrative and the way others look at the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you, this man here is the real deal. Man, Donald, we're honored to have you as a number one expert in this. And you have not built this initiative in vain.
Thank you.
Countries and the world need you. I'm telling you, because there's only one real deal Tolson. Thank you so much, my dear friend.
Thank you.
Wow, Raymond. Wow, Raymond. Donald's fantastic.
Doc, we started 2 hours now, and they have so much to share. They know their knowledge, their initiative inside out. They're all writing a chapter on their initiative, which we're going to publish in another month from now. And they all are also writing a whole book out of that same initiative. That's how knowledgeable these world experts, world civility experts, members of our World Civility Presidential Club are top people from around the globe. They have the three magic ingredients. They know something. They know a lot. They have the knowledge, skill, passion, and drive. They also know how to collaborate, how to be the right audience, how to joint venture with myself, yourself, together amongst themselves. And and we're doing the third leg of it is we're spreading the message with the world. A live platform like this, online digital platform, live stages. We hold seminars on this. We're writing books on this, and we're going with you into into at-risk cities and countries to mediate and bring change.
You know, Ambassador Raymond, this see, we're at the end of a paradigm with the virus, different race challenges in the world, and there's always interrupters. Our President Club, the experts are the new interrupters. They're interrupting old systems, they're interrupting old mindsets, and they're bringing mindsets of civility. Because, Dr. Raymond, every institution in the world has people. Where you have people, you need civility. And the 2020 World Civility Presidents Club, they can go anywhere with me in the world. You want to know why? We need you have experts like Prince Michael. You had did you hear Ira Roach? Did you hear Marvell? I know. I mean, did you hear them? Did you hear Grace? Did you hear Tracy? Man, did you hear Benny? It's just such a phenomenal group of people, and I mean, I'm just going Donald Tolson, Benny, Marvell. You have Alka. You have. I'm just like, man, it just kept. And you know what? The energy of it didn't leave, and the passion and the power didn't leave. And I'm like, man, these are the kind of people that are number ones. And you know what? Number ones change the world, and number twos follow number ones. That can't be Anana Pfeiffer listening to us? Man, I saw Anana, I saw Louisa, I saw Eric Swint. Man, come on, people! Man, we love you guys. Raymond, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, Dr. Rivers, for allowing us to work with you. Everyone here are your clients. You mentor us and position us on a platform. You are a different kind of mentor. Most mentor people to be like them. You mentor your clients to be like me. I should be me. Ira should be Ira. Dr. Grace should be Dr. Grace. Vinny should be Vinny. Dr. Chris should be Dr.
Oh,
Chris. Uh, Maribel should be Maribel. All of the world experts on here today. You mentor us, position, help us to be positioned, packaged, and promoted as number one. There's nothing like it in the world. We're all born with a God-given talent and gift, and we must do it. And you also teach that. If 7.8 billion people in the world did our true calling, we'd have heaven on earth. We would have a perfect
wow.
a place to live.
Wow. Raymond, you are, let me tell you this. You are such a leading voice. I'm watching you on different stages, but you're the leader. Your people have to know when a paradigm is shifting and changing. And you have to know when an old school of thought is over and a new school of thoughts. And I thank you for being that new school of thought for us. And Prince Michael, man, that man just what utter brilliance. Ira Roach the third. No, that's Ira Roach the first. That guy Robert. I'm telling you, man, that's Ira Roach the first. Uh, uh, Marbell, did you hear her? Did you hear her connecting the globe? Did you hear Grace willing to go and help Tracy Randall? Did you hear? Man, I'm gonna watch this over again my own self.
Doc,
Man,
we've have over 20 people watching this the whole time, sharing, commenting, and the engagement is phenomenal. And given all of the technical difficulties we have throughout, it is phenomenal. The value is there. Audience, I know the content might not. You may miss one or two words in between. We have a book coming your way, and the book is going to be perfect English. It's going to be edited. The whole version of each of our initiative will be compiled in that. So we will keep you posted on when the book's going to be launched. It's very soon. If you're interested in getting the book, this is not a sale for a book, but if you love the content, it's going to be a $20 or $25 book you can get on Amazon. So we have so much experts here putting our minds, our best knowledge together with the expertise of Sir Clyde Rivers, who has worked around the globe. He is Sir, he is Doctor, he is Ambassador, he is Chancellor, he is Reverend. The amount of knowledge and skill this man has accumulated, all he can do, he can't hold it all, he can't use it all. All he can do is position, package, and promote others to be number one in their area of expertise. Thank you, Dr. Rivers,
Thank you so much.
for co-hosting this event and for leading this ship in the right direction as we aim to make ourselves better, other better, and the globe as a whole better.
Thank you so much. And our President's Club, we're going to do this again, but we're going to hear more of the content. We're going to do some other things as the world opens up, and we're honored to work with this. This is our President's Club. So we have things we'll do in the nations. We'll keep you up to date, and we need your voices. And Ambassador Raymond, thank you. I don't think we can thank you enough for what you do to make things happen for all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all to our viewers for watching. We couldn't have put on an amazing show without you. You've jumped 3 different lives and to be on here, and you stayed with us consistently for another hour and a half. We appreciate you. I'm going to go back and comment on all of your comments. Please don't feel bad if I wasn't able to throw up your comment on there. I'm multitasking in the back end, but I appreciate all of you. If you were interested in becoming a part of the Presidential Club, World Civility Presidential Club, reach out to me. I'll give you more details on if it's a best fit for you, because it's not just a club you come and hang out and sit down and do nothing. It's everybody. This is all the members we've got, and they come out from all parts of the globe: Singapore, West Africa, all across North America, and we came out and we did it. We bring it for you, and we're working on a book now, and we look forward to working with you. There's room for everyone on this ship.
That's good. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.